The great hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with whispers. Aliens from 100 worlds sat around a huge round table. The room was dark, lit only by the soft glow of strange plants that grew on the walls. In the center of the table, a hologram of the Milky Way galaxy spun slowly. High Counselor J walked into the room. He was tall and thin, with blue skin that seemed to shimmer. His 4 eyes blinked as he looked around the room. The whispers stopped. Everyone watched him as he took his seat at the head of the table. "Fellow members of the Galactic Council," Jay said, his voice deep and smooth, "we have much to discuss today. Our plans for the primitive worlds are moving forward." A map appeared in the hologram. It showed a part of the galaxy where many young races lived. Earth was there, a small blue dot among many others. "The humans continue to be a problem," said Counselor Te, a short, furry alien with long ears. "They are growing too fast. They might discover us soon." Jay nodded. "Yes, the humans are troublesome, but they are still primitive. They fight among themselves. They pollute their world. They are not ready for the stars." "What if they become ready?" asked a new voice. Everyone turned to look at Sung, a young diplomat. He was new to the council, and many were surprised he dared to speak. "What do you mean, Sung?" Jai asked, his voice cold. Sung stood up. He was nervous, but he spoke clearly. "High Counselor, respected members, I have studied the humans. They are primitive, yes, but they learn fast. They adapt. In just 100 years, they went from horse-drawn carts to walking on their moon." The room filled with murmurs. Some aliens laughed. Others looked worried. "You give them too much credit," Jay said. "They are violent, selfish. They will destroy themselves before they reach the stars." "But what if they don't?" Sung asked. "What if they unite? What if they solve their problems and look to the stars? We should talk to them now, while we can still guide them." Jay's eyes narrowed. "You are young, Sung. You do not understand. The humans are a threat. If they reach the stars, they will want to rule. They will fight us. No, it is better to keep them ignorant, to make sure they never leave their world." "Is that not against our laws?" Sung asked. "We are supposed to help young races, not hold them back." The room went quiet. Everyone looked at Jai. "Laws?" Jai laughed. It was not a nice sound. "We are the Galactic Council. We make the laws. And we have decided that some races are too dangerous to join us. The humans are one of those races." Sung sat down, but he did not look happy. He watched as Jay turned back to the hologram. "Now, let us discuss our plans," Jay said. "We will continue to watch Earth. If the humans show signs of reaching space, we will act. We have ships hidden in their solar system. We can cause accidents, natural disasters, anything to keep them focused on their own problems." The council members nodded. They began to talk about other worlds, other races they wanted to control. But Sung wasn't listening. He was thinking about Earth, about the humans. He wondered if the council was making a big mistake. As the meeting went on, no one noticed a small light blinking on the edge of the hologram. It was a warning. Something was happening in a far part of space, something that would change everything. The humans were coming, and they were not as primitive as the council thought. Far from Earth, in a part of space, the Galactic Council thought was empty. Something big was happening. A hole opened up in the darkness. It glowed blue and white, swirling like water going down a drain. Then, out of this strange hole, a ship appeared. It was huge, bigger than any ship humans had ever built before. Its hull was dark gray, covered in strange markings. This was the HSS Defiant, Earth's first warship made for traveling between stars. On the bridge of the Defiant, Captain Eon stood looking out at the stars. She was tall, with short black hair and sharp eyes. She wore a blue uniform with gold stripes on the shoulders. "Aria, where are we?" Eon asked. A soft voice answered from all around. It was Aria, The ship's eye. Captain, we are approximately 500 light-years from Earth. The jump was successful. Ian nodded. She felt proud. They had done it. Humans had finally left their solar system. All systems check out, Captain, said Lee, the ship's engineer. He was looking at a big screen full of numbers and diagrams. The new drive worked perfectly. Good work, everyone, Ian said. She looked around at her crew. They were the best Earth had to offer. Scientists, soldiers, and explorers, all ready to see what was out there in the big universe. Suddenly, a red light started flashing on one of the screens. A loud beep filled the bridge. Captain, shouted Kim, the communications officer. We're picking up a signal. It's a distress call. Ian walked over to Kim's station. Can you tell where it's coming from? Kim shook her head. It's not like anything we've seen before, but it's definitely a call for help. Ian thought for a moment. They weren't supposed to contact aliens on this mission. They were just testing the new ship, but she couldn't ignore someone who needed help. RIA, can you translate the message? Ian asked. Working on it, Captain, RIA said. After a few seconds, a scratchy voice came through the speakers. It spoke in a strange language, but RIA translated. Help, under attack, council ships, please. The bridge went quiet. Everyone looked at Ian. Council ships, Ian said. What council? Before anyone could answer, another alarm went off. This time it was Park, the sensor officer, who spoke up. Captain, I'm detecting something strange, Park said. There's a ship out there, but it's hiding somehow. I can barely see it. Ian frowned. Hiding? How? Some kind of cloaking technology, Park said. It's way beyond anything we have. Ian felt a chill. They had just arrived in this part of space, and already they were facing things they didn't understand. Advanced aliens who could hide their ships, a mysterious council that was attacking someone, and a call for help from an unknown race. What do we do, Captain? Asked Troy, the first officer. Ian took a deep breath. This was why she was here, to make the hard choices, to represent humanity in whatever they found out here in the stars. We help, she said. That's what we do. We're human, and humans help those in need. She turned to the helm officer. Set a course for that distress signal. Area, power up our weapons, just in case. And everyone, be ready. We don't know what we're going to find out there. As the Defiant turned and started moving, Ian looked out at the stars again. She thought about Earth, so far away, about all the people back home who were counting on them. Whatever's out there, she said quietly, we'll face it, and we'll show them what humanity can do. The ship sped up, heading towards the unknown, towards their first real encounter with alien life, towards a conflict they didn't yet understand. The HSS Defiant, Earth's first star-traveling warship, was about to make history, and the galaxy would never be the same. The HSS Defiant moved quickly through space, following the distress signal. Everyone on the bridge was tense. They didn't know what they would find. Captain, we're getting close to the source of the signal, Kim said from her communication station. Captain Ian nodded. RIA, put it on the main screen. The big screen at the front of the bridge lit up. At first, they saw only stars. Then, something else appeared. It was a ship, but not like anything they had seen before. It was shaped like a leaf, with smooth green sides that seemed to glow. It's beautiful, Choi, the first officer, said in a whisper. But the leaf ship wasn't alone. Near it was another ship. This one was bigger and darker. It looked mean, with sharp edges and big guns pointing at the leaf ship. That must be the council ship, Yun said. She turned to Kim. Try to talk to them. Both ships. Kim nodded and started pressing buttons. This is the Earth ship HS Defiant. We received a distress call. Do you need help? They waited. The bridge was quiet. Everyone held their breath. Suddenly, The screen changed. They saw an alien face. It had big eyes and green skin. It looked scared. "Help us," the alien said. Its voice sounded strange, but they could understand it. "The Council wants to destroy us." Before could answer, another face appeared on the screen. This alien was different. It had 4 eyes and blue skin. It looked angry. "This is Captain Dai of the Galactic Council," the new alien said. "Leave now, primitives. This does not concern you." Yun frowned. She didn't like being called primitive. "I'm Captain Yun of the Earth ship Defiant. We're here to help. What's going on?" The blue alien, Dai, looked surprised. Then he laughed. It wasn't a nice laugh. "Earth, you're humans. Impossible. Humans can't travel this far in space." "Well, we're here," Yun said. She was starting to get angry too. "And we want to know why you're attacking that ship." Dai's face got dark. "These criminals broke galactic law. We're here to punish them. Now leave, or we'll destroy you too." The green alien spoke up again. "They lie. We did nothing wrong. They want to keep us weak and afraid." Yun looked at her crew. They all looked worried. This was not how they thought first contact would go. "Aria," Yun said quietly. "What do you think?" The AI's calm voice filled the bridge. "Captain, based on their behavior, I believe the Council ship is the aggressor. The other ship's distress call seems genuine." Yun nodded. She had thought the same thing. She turned back to the screen. "Captain Dad," she said, "we won't leave. We came to help, and that's what we're going to do. I ask you to stop your attack." Dai's 4 eyes all blinked at once. He looked shocked. Then he looked very, very angry. "You dare," he shouted. "You primitive apes. You know nothing of our ways. If you interfere, you will regret it." The screen went dark. Turned to her crew. "Battle stations," she said calmly. "Shields up. Get ready to protect that leaf ship." As alarms started to sound, looked out at the stars again. This was not how she wanted things to go. But she knew they were doing the right thing. "Send a message to the leaf ship," she told Kim. "Tell them to get behind us. We'll protect them." As the Defiant moved between the 2 alien ships, Yun felt proud. They might be new to space travel, but humans knew right from wrong. And they weren't afraid to stand up for what was right. "Let's show them what Earth can do," Yun said. The crew cheered. The battle was about to begin. Back in the secret meeting room of the Galactic Council, alarms were going off. The big hologram in the middle of the table was flashing red. Council members were shouting and running around. High Counselor Jay stood up, his blue skin turning pale. "What is happening?" he yelled. A young alien rushed up to him, holding a glowing pad. "High Counselor," the alien said, out of breath. "We have a big problem. There's a human ship in Sector 7. The room went quiet. Everyone stared at Jay. "Impossible," Jay said. His voice shook a little. "The humans don't have ships that can go that far." "It's true," the young alien said. "Captain Dai of our patrol ship just reported it. The human ship is big and has weapons." And the alien paused, looking scared. "And what?" Jay asked. "And it's helping the rebels we were chasing." Jay sat down hard in his chair. This was bad. Very bad. The humans weren't supposed to be out in space yet. They weren't supposed to know about the Council or the other aliens. And they definitely weren't supposed to have big ships with weapons. "How did this happen?" Jay asked. He looked around the room at the other council members. They all looked just as shocked as he felt. Sung, the young diplomat who had spoken up earlier, stepped forward. "I tried to warn you," he said. "The humans are smarter and more advanced than we thought. We should have talked to them before this happened." Jay glared at Sung. "Be quiet," he shouted. "This is all your fault. You and your ideas about helping the younger races." Sung didn't back down. "My fault. I'm not the one who decided to bully and control every new species we find. If we had been fair and kind, maybe the humans would be our friends now instead of our enemies. Other council members started to nod. Some of them were beginning to think Sung might be right. But Jay wasn't listening. He was thinking hard, trying to figure out what to do. "We need to stop this," he said finally. "We need to destroy that human ship before they learn too much." Gasps filled the room. Destroying the ship from a new race was against all the council's rules. "But High Counselor," one alien said, "that would be wrong. We can't just." "We can, and we will," Jai shouted. His eyes were wild now. He looked scary. "Don't you see? If the humans join the rebels, everything we've built could fall apart. We could lose control of the galaxy." He turned to a group of serious-looking aliens in the corner. They wore dark uniforms with lots of badges. "Send every ship we have to Sector 7, Jay ordered. "Tell them to destroy the human ship. Make it look like an accident." The aliens in uniforms nodded and hurried out of the room. Sung couldn't believe what he was hearing. "This is madness," he said. "You can't do this. It goes against everything the Council stands for." Jay turned to him, his eyes narrow and mean. "The Council stands for whatever I say it does," he said in a low, dangerous voice. "Guards, take Sung away. Lock him up where he can't cause any more trouble." As two big aliens grabbed Sung and started to drag him out of the room, he shouted, "You're making a big mistake. The humans are stronger than you think. This will only make things worse." But Jay wasn't listening anymore. He was staring at the hologram, watching as little dots representing council ships started to move towards Sector 7, towards the human ship. Soon, Jay said to himself, "This little problem will be taken care of, and everything will go back to normal." But deep down, he wasn't so sure. Something told him that things in the galaxy were about to change forever. Captain Eun stood on the bridge of the HSS Defiant, watching the stars. Something was wrong. She could feel it. "Area," she said, "scan the area. I think we're about to have company." The ship's AI voice answered. "Scanning, Captain. I detect multiple ships entering the sector. They appear to be Galactic Council vessels." Eun nodded. She had expected this. "How many?" 12 ships, Captain, all larger than the Defiant." The bridge crew looked worried. 12 against 1 were not good odds. "What do we do, Captain?" asked Troy, the first officer. Eun thought for a moment. Then she smiled. It was a smile that said she had a plan. "See that nebula?" She pointed to a large, colorful cloud of gas nearby. "We're going in there. Area, tell the Leaf ship to follow us closely." As the Defiant moved towards the nebula, the crew got ready for a fight. Engineers checked the engines. Weapons officers prepared the guns. Everyone was nervous but excited. Inside the nebula, everything looked strange. The gas glowed in many colors. It was hard to see far. "Perfect," Eun said. "This will make it harder for them to find us." "Area, use the nebula to hide our heat signature." "Yes, Captain," Area said. "But it will also make it harder for us to see them." Eun nodded. "That's okay. We have a secret weapon. You." Area was silent for a moment. Then the AI said, "Thank you for your confidence, Captain. I will do my best." Suddenly, alarm sounds filled the bridge. "Captain," shouted Park from the sensor station. "Council ships entering the nebula." Eun took a deep breath. This was it. The first battle between humans and aliens in space. History was being made. "Okay, everyone," she said. "Remember your training. We may be new to space, but we know how to fight. Let's show them what humans can do." The first council ship appeared out of the gas. It was big and black, with guns all over it. It started to fire at the Defiant. "Evasive maneuvers," Eun shouted. The Defiant moved quickly, dodging the shots. Aria's voice was calm. "Captain, I've analyzed their weapons. Our shields can handle their fire for approximately 10 minutes." Eun nodded. "Good. That gives us time. Araya, find me a weak spot on that ship. As Araya worked, more council ships appeared. They all started firing. The Defiant zigzagged through the nebula, using the gas clouds as cover. Weak spot identified, Araya said. Their engine housing is vulnerable. Good work, Yun said. Weapons, target that spot and fire when ready. The Defiant's guns roared to life. Beams of energy shot out, hitting the council ship right where Araya had said. The alien ship's engines exploded, and it started to drift. The crew cheered, but Yun knew it wasn't over. There were still 11 more ships out there. For the next hour, it was chaos. The Defiant danced through the nebula, firing at the council ships and then hiding in the gas. Araya kept finding weak spots, and the human gunners kept hitting them. 3 more council ships were disabled, but the Defiant was taking damage too. The shields were getting weaker. Captain, Araya said, shield strength down to 20%. We cannot take much more. Yun looked around the bridge. Her crew was tired, but still fighting hard. She was so proud of them. Okay, she said. Time for our last trick. Araya, remember that special maneuver we practiced? Yes, Captain. But it is very risky. Yun smiled. Sometimes you have to take risks. Do it. The Defiant suddenly turned and flew straight at the biggest council ship. Everyone held their breath. At the last second, Araya fired all engines at full power. The Defiant shot up and over the council ship, firing all its guns at once. The big alien ship's bridge exploded. Without its leaders, the ship started to drift. The other council ships, seeing their leader defeated, started to retreat. They disappeared into the nebula, running away. On the Defiant's bridge, everyone was quiet for a moment. Then they all started cheering and hugging each other. Yun sat down in her chair, feeling tired but happy. They had done it. Humans had won their first space battle. As the Defiant and the Leaf ship left the nebula, Yun knew that everything had changed. The galaxy would never be the same again, and humanity had just announced its arrival on the galactic stage. As the HSS Defiant slowly moved away from the nebula, the crew was busy fixing the damage from the battle. Captain Yun sat in her chair, thinking about what to do next. Captain, said Kim from the communication station, the Leaf ship is hailing us. Yun nodded. Put them on screen. The main screen lit up, showing the green alien they had seen before. But now, instead of looking scared, the alien was smiling. Brave humans, the alien said, we cannot thank you enough. I am Jin, leader of the Rim Collective. We fight against the Galactic Council's unfair rule. Yun stood up. I'm Captain Yun of the Earth ship Defiant. We're glad we could help, but we have many questions. Jin nodded. Of course. Perhaps we could meet in person. Our ship has a docking bay large enough for your shuttle. Yun thought for a moment. It could be dangerous, but they needed answers. Agreed, she said. I'll bring a small team. Soon, Yun and 3 of her crew were in a shuttle, flying towards the Leaf ship. As they got closer, they could see how beautiful it was. The green surface seemed to glow and shift, like real leaves in the wind. Inside the Leaf ship, everything was even more amazing. The walls looked like they were alive. Lights pulsed gently, and the air smelled like a forest. Jin met them in a large room. Up close, the alien looked both plant-like and animal-like. Jin's skin was green and slightly rough, like tree bark, but Jin moved smoothly and had kind eyes. Welcome, friends, Jin said. We have much to discuss. For the next hour, Jin told the humans about the galaxy, about how the Galactic Council had once been good, helping young races grow and join the galactic community. But over time, the Council became greedy and controlling. They now keep many races weak and scared, Jin said. They don't want anyone to challenge their power. Yun frowned. That's terrible. But why did they say you broke their laws? Jin sighed. Because we try to help those races. We give them technology and knowledge the Council doesn't want them to have. The humans looked at each other. This was big news. The galaxy was not the friendly place they had hoped for. What will you do now? Yun asked. Jin looked sad. We must hide again. The Council will send more ships. We are not strong enough to fight them all. Yun stood up straight. Maybe you don't have to hide, she said. Maybe we can help each other. Jin's eyes widened. You would do that, even after learning how dangerous the Council is. Yun smiled. Humans don't like bullies, and we're pretty good at dealing with them. We may be new to space travel, but we have good technology and brave people. She looked at her crew, who all nodded in agreement. If you're willing, Yun continued, we could form an alliance, the Rim Collective and Earth, working together to make the galaxy a better place. Jin was quiet for a moment. Then the alien broke into a big smile. Yes, Jin said. Yes, we would be honored to ally with Earth. Together, we might actually have a chance against the Council. As they shook hands, Jin had hands, though they looked a bit like leaves. Yun felt excited. This was why they had come to space. To meet new friends, to learn, and to help where they could. So Yun said, what's our first move as allies? Jin's smile turned serious. We need to expose the Council's crimes to the whole galaxy. Many races don't know how bad things have become. If we can show them the truth, we might be able to change things. Yun nodded. A big broadcast. Then, we'll need to get into the Council's main communication hub. That's on their hidden base, Jin said. It's very dangerous. Yun grinned. Dangerous is what humans do best. Let's make a plan. As they started to discuss ideas, Yun felt hopeful. The galaxy was a bigger and scarier place than they had thought. But it was also full of wonders and new friends. And humanity was ready to make its mark among the stars. The plan was dangerous, but it was their best chance. Captain Yun of the HSS Defiant and Jin of the Rim Collective had worked for days to figure out how to expose the Galactic Council's crimes. Now their ships were hiding near the Council's secret base. It was a huge space station that looked like a metal spider floating in space. Are you ready? Yun asked her crew. They all nodded, looking both scared and excited. Remember, Jin said, we need to reach the main communication room. From there, we can send our message to the whole galaxy. Yun nodded. Let's do this. Their ships moved fast, surprising the Council's guards. While the Rim Collective's ship distracted the defenders, the Defiant snuck close to the station. Area. Yun said to the ship's AI, find us a way in. Scanning, Area replied. There is a small docking port on the lower level. It appears to be unguarded. Yun grinned. Perfect. Take us in. The Defiant connected to the station with a soft thud. Yun led a small team into the station, with Jin and some Rim Collective members joining them. Inside, alarms were blaring. Council guards were running everywhere, but they weren't expecting an attack from within. This way, Jin said, pointing down a hallway. The communication room should be up ahead. They ran through the station, hiding when guards came close. Area helped by hacking into the station's systems, opening doors for them, and closing them behind to slow down the guards. Finally, they reached a big door marked with strange symbols. This is it, Jin said, the main communication room. But as they approached, a group of guards appeared, led by a familiar blue-skinned alien with 4 eyes. You, shouted Captain Da, the Council ship commander they had met before. How dare you invade our base? Yun stepped forward. We're here to tell the truth, to show everyone what the Council really does. Dad laughed. You think anyone will believe you? We control all communication in the galaxy. Not anymore, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Sung, the young Council diplomat, stepping out from behind a corner. He looked like he had been in a fight, but his eyes were determined. Sung, Da gasped. But you were locked up. Sung smiled. I had help. Not everyone in the council agrees with what we've become. He turned to Yun and Jin. I can get you into the communication room. We'll broadcast the truth together. Day roared with anger and ordered his guards to attack. But Yun's team was ready. They used their advanced weapons to stun the guards without hurting them badly. In the chaos, Sung opened the door to the communication room. Yun, Jin, and Sung rushed inside while the others held off more guards. Inside, they found a room full of screens and control panels. Sung quickly started working on a big computer. Hurry, Yun said, hearing the sounds of fighting outside. Almost there, Sung replied. Jin, give me the data about the council's crimes. Jin handed over a small device. Sung plugged it in and started the broadcast. Suddenly, every screen in the room lit up. They could see their message being sent to thousands of worlds across the galaxy. People of the galaxy, Sung's voice rang out. The Galactic Council has been lying to you. They have been keeping races weak and afraid. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can build a better future together. The broadcast showed proof of the Council's crimes. It showed how they had hurt innocent people and lied to everyone. As the message played, they could hear the fighting outside stop. Guards and defenders alike were watching the broadcast, learning the truth for the first time. When it was over, Yun, Jin, and Sung walked out of the room. The guards looked confused and unsure what to do. Captain Dai was on his knees, looking defeated. What have you done? He asked. Yun looked at him with pity. We've given the galaxy a chance at real peace and fairness. In the days that followed, everything changed. Many races that had been afraid of the Council now stood up against them. The Council's power crumbled quickly. A new group was formed to help guide the galaxy, with representatives from many races, including humans. They called it the Galactic Alliance. As Un stood on the Defiance Bridge, looking out at the stars, she felt proud. Humans had not only joined the galactic community, but they had helped make it better. What do you think will happen now, Captain? Choi asked. Yun smiled. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. The galaxy is full of wonders, and now we can explore it together as friends. The Defiance engines hummed to life. It was time for their next adventure among the stars.